What's up everybody, this is Hillbillies here, and welcome back to episode 45 of my Minecraft Let's Play series. First off, I do want to apologize to everybody for the long length of time between the videos. It has been pretty much 2 months now since I've made one episode, and the reason for that is I've just been really busy with work, and I just haven't had time. I work 6 days a week, and I work from, 6 in the morning till 8 or 9 at night, so I don't really have any time to do that sort of thing. And on the weekends I need to, do things like work on the house and whatnot, so... But I won't waste too much of your time with that. Since it's been so long, let's get right into it. For some reason, I'm missing a block here. Damn, Enderman probably stole it. There have been a couple changes that I want to show you guys, just a couple little small ones. And then this episode, as you probably see the title, is going to be called Maintenance Day, which is just me going around kind of fixing a couple of things here and there and making the world just look a little bit nicer. So obviously, this track was actually, it was so short that there was no point in having a track here. I never bothered to use it, I'd always just jump over. So I've changed it all with ice, which makes it, way faster to get over here. It's definitely a lot better. There's another major change within the, the storage room, which is the fact that I reorganized everything. I eliminated some of the really useless chests, and I made everything double chest now. So it's much more organized. Like you can see, this is the room that had all the wool and everything. And you notice it doesn't take up any more space at all, but I managed to fit like double chests into everything, except for, maybe a couple, but I realized, you can stack dye, so it's like, when are you ever going to need this many stacks of 64 of, like, white or teal or anything like that? So, I have way more storage than I'd ever need. But it is really, really convenient now. It's well organized. Like, when I come in here now for wood, everything is right here. It's still kind of set up in the same order. I've got all the, what is this called again? I haven't played it in so long. The quartz is all kind of together in the sand, the sandstone. Everything's nicely organized and neat, and it just seems a lot better. I think it works a lot better. It doesn't reduce the lag any. I'm still hoping that they will set an update so that it'll fix that, or I'll just eventually get an Xbox One. But on to the next quick one. There haven't been too many changes. Like I didn't want to go too crazy and do all this stuff that without anybody seeing any of it. So, I figured I'd wait a little bit, do a bit of it. This is now my wife's room here. If you remember, Games Blab had a room here, and he changed it so that he could build a jungle home right beside Hottie Fletch. So my wife came in and took this room, and she's built it up for herself here. So it's pretty nice. She's got everything she needs whenever she comes to join and helps and build some things. Let's see, nothing has changed over in here, but I did add here a nice ender pearl dispenser for whenever I need it. I don't have very many ender pearls though. I can't even get any ender pearls because I still can't get into the end yet, which really, really, really sucks. I've got a nice music station set up here. I'm going to set up eventually maybe some lights or something, but it's just convenient. I've got all the discs here. I can just play with them whenever I want. But one of the nice things that I enjoy is I finally built myself a nice little bedroom. I did design it the same way, kind of, that the one with Hottie Fletch, our survival world together, with the sand floor and the oak, and then I made the nice leaves on the ceiling. You can see I'm still gathering glowstone, or lamps I guess, to place across the ceiling. I'm going to place them in an X pattern, and hopefully it'll light up the whole room pretty well. Now, one cool thing is, I've got a cool Donkey Kong thing, because I like video games. If anybody didn't know what that's supposed to be, it is supposed to be actually Donkey Kong. The very first one for the Atari, actually. This here leads down to a mine shaft, because I never really had a proper mine shaft to work with, so here's where it's going to be. I can drop down into the water down below and go strip mining. Now, secretly behind this painting is going to be my awesome trophy room. Of course, not very secret now though. Obviously I've shown all you guys. But it has the egg. What I'm going to do is, the floor is going to be iron, the walls are going to be gold, and I'm hoping to put some diamond blocks somewhere. Like I was hoping to put those as diamonds maybe, but I'm going to figure it out. It's just going to look really cool and fancy. It's going to have a lot of cool resources in it. I don't expect anybody to come mess with anything anyways, so it's alright like that. Not too many major changes, like I say. I didn't work too much out here. Maybe little touches, like I fixed up the ceiling a bit so it's all stone all the way across, and I kind of smoothed some of the edges a little bit, and just little things like that. It kind of brought it back to looking like more of a natural cave, other than the fact that there's a tree and a path and like a waterfall and all that stuff. But it spruced up the area a lot, and I'm hoping But like that staircase, I'm hoping to bring it right up to the outside so you can access it from the outside there. As well as I'm thinking, like I saw Etho build these villages underground, and I'm wondering if I should build like, a village house here just in the side of the wall, maybe one here, and then I can release the villagers and they can just kind of wander around in here and not, I don't have to really worry about them too much. They can't really escape anywhere and they wouldn't go too far. So that's pretty cool and I kind of enjoy that. And I'm just going to kind of skip ahead and go into the next thing that I've actually done. So let's go check. And here we are, right at the giant Enderman, as you probably all remember last time. It wasn't completed, like the inside or anything like that, as I said I was going to eventually complete it, and I finally did. If you go up both legs, the first section here is a parkour challenge, and you can actually play 2 players at the same time, which is great. But let's say you make it to the top and you fall. There is like a checkpoint system or an honor system that if you make it to the top and you fall down and die or something bad happens, you can just climb up this rear ladder here and you can skip up to the next part. So give me a second and I'll show you the rest of it. And here we are. We are now in the middle section of the Enderman. And you can see this is another challenge here. This is the Ender Pearl challenge. Of course, I never really tested how high you could throw ender pearls, and you can actually throw them up pretty high in the air. So, I think you can get out, but again, there's the honor system that, don't just try and cheat and get right to the top. Try and, use the platforms and make your way up, and it is a race to see who can get to the top first. And I did try and make sure that the parkour things are almost identical to each other. I couldn't make it perfect because I'm not creative and I couldn't copy it, one after another exactly, but I did alright with it, so. And finally, the last section as well is another sort of well, I guess you could partially parkour, but mostly it's for ender pearls, but I made the blocks smaller so they're harder to land on. The only problem is, once again, you can just ender pearl right to the outside, which, I guess I don't really want people to be doing. I should probably put like a trapdoor here so that you have to jump out or something like that. And I may eventually add a ender pearl, or him holding an ender pearl that you have to ender pearl onto once you've gotten to the top, and then that'll be kind of the way of saying victory. But so far, if you just make it to the top, it's a win, and I think that's pretty great. It's nice to, nice to have it. Alright, so like I was saying, because I forgot to turn the autosave off, you can see I have been trying to slowly over time remove this mountain, and I've gotten, a little bit farther with it. You can see that, the cake, well, where it is now actually, that used to of course all be mountain, but what my objective is I'm trying to remove the mountain and turn that whole area into a flat area right to the back, and then I can build, more of the random buildings around, like right near that dog bone. I actually want to build a giant dog, or sorry, I guess a wolf, a Minecraft wolf, right here kind of standing up facing the bone. I've already designed it in creative mode and everything, and I have kind of all the dimensions written out, so that'll be another episode, another project later in the future. I thought it would be cool, you have the bone and then you have the dog like standing looking at it, like it's trying to eat it and whatnot, so I thought that'd be interesting, kind of a little something different and fun to have. Let's see, what else is there? That might have been mostly the... Oh, wait, no, there's that one thing way over there that I can't even ender pearl, so 1 second and I'll head over there. Okay, so if you remember this big empty area over here beside the access to the Sky Wars, it used to just be, well, it was ice before, but it was all like up and down, and I'd taken out a bunch of area, and what I did is I just flattened it all out, and I made it proper so that it's only 1 deep, and this is pretty much now an ice farm. So what I can do is if I take my Silk Touch pickaxe that I have here with high efficiency, I have to be very careful not to break the blocks underneath, but if I just kind of, I can run along now and I can go and gather a bunch of ice, and then once I've gathered all the ice, my trick is I basically just reuse the ice that I had and what I've collected, and you can place it down and then remake the water sources so that they become solid blocks. And once you've done that, then everything will freeze again, and you just kind of wait a little while, and then you go, there's your ice again. There are fancier ways and better ways to do it, but I figured I don't use ice that often, and it's surprising the amount of ice that you actually get from this. I think I get around 4 stacks or so each time I go through this, even after I've replaced everything. So it is convenient. I don't have to go too often, and it surprisingly doesn't take very long to freeze. As you can see, some of them are kind of freezing behind me as I'm just placing this to repair everything. So that's pretty good. I found it very useful. I did, like I said, I make that, what is it? To the storage room. The transportation to the storage room is now ice, so it's just made things easier, faster, better, that kind of thing. So I thought that was pretty good. Other than that, there's not too many little changes I can think of. Nothing that, you guys would be too interested in seeing. If I can think of anything else, then I will go and do that. But for now, I want to get into, like I said, I'm already like 13 minutes in or so. So I want to do some, probably the next couple of minutes, just short little quick repairs and things like that. So one of the first ones is fixing up a bunch of the Miniputts. So I'm going to go get some materials and be right back. So one issue I have with the Miniputt at the moment is just because I was taking down the mountain, there was lots of TNT that I was using, there was a lot of explosions, things were, I guess, going wrong, such as this area here. I think that's still a piston, but there's problems like you can see, that's supposed to be ice and it's melted, so at the time, I never had any proper pickaxes. So I think, is that the one? One of these has a piston on it, I think, and it goes up and down whenever it's supposed to be activated. Let me go check and make sure which one it actually is. Oh, and for those of you that didn't see, this is kind of the underneath of the Miniputt, and I should have a better way of doing this, but this is just kind of the easy way that I made the piston go up and down. If it still works, who knows? Things have changed in the game, been a lot of updates recently, but, this is the whole point of this maintenance day that I'm talking about, is just to have everything ready and working good. So yeah, there you go. See, it's finally working again after pretty much forever and ever. There's also lots of little spots around that, like I said, more ice is melted. I have to make sure that I keep lights away from them. This is probably one of the issues right there. Like I said, just hop around quick, check out some of these. I'm missing some oak planks in certain spots. There is one major... Ooh, what's this? See, there's still some dark spots around. There are definitely more because I've been adding things, tearing stuff down. I haven't had the time to really go and eliminate every little dark spot. So just in the meantime, maybe I'll put these here. It'll remind me to fix that area. And thankfully, Hottie Fletch last time said, change dispenser to a dropper, which is one of the things I have on me. Because the problem is, with this, at the moment, you're supposed to use the snowballs. But when snowballs get shot out of the dispenser, they actually get, like, shot out of the dispenser. So that's kind of been a problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and change it to a dropper, and we will see if this works or not. Oh, no, I don't want it facing that way. Let me try this. Okay. Gotta be real careful about this. I don't want to mess anything up too bad, so let's see what I can do with this. Alright, now that's facing the right way. Now, technically, if I place back everything here, there should be no more issues with this. But let's find out. That's the whole point of testing. Do I have a snowball? I do have a snowball. So normally you throw it in here, and it's constantly ticking and ticking and ticking and going away, and perfect, it changed it. So now it does dispense it. Before it just used to throw the snowball, and that's no good because it just, explodes like that. So it's not worth it. And over here is one of the major areas that needed a lot of fixing. To be honest, I just never really finished it, which is kind of disappointing. You never get to really play a full proper game in this because of it. So I'm going to change up a lot of these. And I'm just going to go over a couple of these and make it nice so you guys don't have to stare and watch me doing this. But that's just kind of one of the little things I wanted to have done. So I'll be back and I'm going to show you what it looks like fixed. And then I guess I'll go find something else to do. So I think it's all ready, guys. I pretty much went around and fixed all the broken oak pieces that had, because of the explosion, because the mountain used to actually be right here. Kind of where this fence is right now. Now it's all the way back there already. Still a lot more to go, but that's alright. There was... Oh, here's another error, I guess. That's not supposed to be up, so that's... I'm finding little things as I run around, like... There's a couple... It must have changed. The redstone must have changed because there's a lot of the pistons that are always active now that never used to be. And I actually just fixed that with this one here. Now you can see it goes back down, but the other ones here all seem to be stuck completely up. So I'm going to have to go around each one of these and fix these now that I've just noticed this, that there's more than just the one. There's actually quite a few problems around. So I'm just going to fix this real quick and I'll be back again. Hopefully with a different idea. Okay, so it was crazy, guys. The reason is it's actually because most of these are halfway in the ground, so that when you score, you can actually see. Otherwise, you wouldn't really notice them right away. So I was wrong. Things are okay. I did have to fix, I think, actually one of them, but it was all right. Basically, that's all ready. So on to the next big thing. So one quick thing I have added is this just quick, basically it's just a dispenser that has a bucket of water in it. So now I can actually toggle the mob farm on and off if I so choose to, so I can work on it and whatnot. My next objective, something I'm not going to do right now in the video because it can take a very long time. And, I'm not, the best with redstone, so it'll take me a while to figure it out. But I want to turn this into an item sorter because you can imagine, like, I'm used to just sitting here, and I'll just put the stuff away. But it'd be kind of nice if all I had to do was stand there and not do this every time, empty out my inventory, put everything away, and I just kill them. Because, like, you see, when you kill the mobs, if you weren't there to pick them up, they land right in that space. So I figure if I can put some hoppers there, I'll put 2 hoppers going down, and then underneath the floor I will have the item sorter. That sends it out to each chest that's required, but that's something that I'm going to have to, dig up the floor, make a large space, and then I will build the item sorter. Luckily, there's only, 5 different chests, but the only problem is this one is, has multiple things, like it has the gold armor and all that stuff. I might have to make one, like, one for the gunpowder, one for arrows, one for rotten flesh, bones, and then this one it'll sort itself, like whatever doesn't go into those will go into here. And it'll just be a lot easier. Than I can just stand here, hit them all the time, everything will get sorted for me, and then I just go and quickly pick up the XP, and that's it. I think it's just, one way of making things a little easier, but that's going to be a project for another day because I don't have the time to do that, and it's going to take me a very long time because I am not that good with redstone. Not good enough to do it immediately in 5 minutes or anything like that. But with the power of editing, now it is possible, and it's actually already done. I spent a couple of days trying to figure this all out, or a couple of days later I spent a whole bunch of time getting this all set up, and this is the item sorter, so basically all the mobs drop as they normally would, but finally, when I kill them, notice there's no loot or anything. It's because it gets sucked through the hopper, through the half slab, which actually works, which is a great thing. And then it goes into another hopper, and it goes down into an item sorter. So I'll go and show you that. Of course, I had to look up, how the item sorters worked and whatnot. And it could be more compact, but for myself to make it easier to work on, I did leave these spaces here. If you want to make them right side by side, you have to use a regular chest and then a trap chest and a regular chest and a trap chest. And basically what you do is, this is where all the items are coming out from and being sorted through. And then they have to go all the way, they go through these hoppers here and they get sorted into whichever chest they're designated to go to. And the reason for that is, like, see, this is for rotten flesh, bones, those are arrows, gunpowder, and this is for everything else. Notice this one doesn't have any setup like this because it's just whatever doesn't go into those ones always goes into this. So how it works basically is because of this setup here, the hopper actually takes a signal. You can see there's only one signal right now. But as soon as one item passes through it, it actually extends the signal out to here, which is, connected to this the repeater, and then it sends a signal through this block and turns off the torch. And when the torch turns off, it turns off just long enough to let one item flow through and into the chest. So it does it at a very slow or a continuous rate. I guess it's actually kind of quick, but it's continuous so that it doesn't jam up or anything happens. So every time one item goes in, another comes out. So for example, the bones, as soon as one comes through here, you might see it go 19 and then back down to 18 again. And then that would basically allow it, you'd see the signal come out and it would send it through. And I've set up all the, this is kind of ridiculous now, but right here is, all the chests go, and they're each connected, but I didn't have much to work with, and I had to connect it to the existing chests that were here. So I just made this like ridiculous maze of hoppers all over, and each one of them connects to the chest they're supposed to be in. So now, let me get up there. It makes things a lot easier for me because I no longer have to stand there and sort all the items into the chest and so on and so forth. It's very long. Now I just kind of stand here, kill them, and as you can see, there are items dropping, but they do get absorbed. Like, see that potato? Oop, no more potato. And then you just walk up, grab all the experience, and all the items are sorted for me. And to show that, I'll go down here. I think it's actually faster than I am getting down the ladder. But you can see that even with that system, like, I'm still getting gunpowder. I have all the... This is actually only for arrows now because the bows, I didn't set up bows and arrows in the same one. I don't think you can do that. And I didn't feel like making another chest just for bows, so I decided that all the bows can go into here. I emptied a lot of these chests to make sure that it was working. Like, you can see there's like no bones left, but it is working. Like, that's at 33, and it would go up if I killed some more. You can see the rest of the bows are in here, but everything is just sorting itself. It's so much faster, so much easier. I really like it. Just makes life a lot easier to have it, and it's so much faster. It's more convenient. Now that I have it, I really like the automated system, and I'm going to try and automate a lot of the rest of the world because it has been really worth it to do so. And like I said, I'm not constantly trying to put items in the chest. Like these 3 bones, I might as well I'll just drop in here and let them get sorted. And one other thing I did add, though, is you're probably wondering what this is. Well, this is actually now, like, I had the option you guys saw to turn the water on and off, but I was only able to do it from up top, so now I set just, I just put a whole bunch of redstone torches right to the top, and I just used the lever and it turns it on and off, so I can turn it on and off from down at the bottom, because what I wanted to do was try and get zombie villagers, which is why I have this one fence here, so that I can stand over here and see when there's a zombie villager. Like, it's harder to tell, like, you can still see them, but it's just so much clearer and easier to see if you stand here, and it's nicer. I have to figure out a good way to get them out, if anything, or if I can, but we'll see about that. I still haven't been successful with that, and all I kind of did, like, earlier, I did get 2 more. Let me go see if I can find them quick. They were over near the... Oh, well, here's one. Yeah, because they were near the storage room earlier. So this guy's a blacksmith trading he's giving a pickaxe for emeralds. I don't have that many emeralds, though, I don't think. It'd be pretty useful, though. The other guy wasn't here in the storage room somewhere. I did get 2 of them at the same time. I was actually just wandering around at nighttime, because I figured it'd probably be easier than waiting for the mob farm and having to dismantle it and whatnot. So I went and I actually got 2 zombie villagers like spawning side by side. So I just walked them all over the way to here, and I used my zombie villager turning station, which I'll just do a quick thing that for those of you who didn't see, I made this super simple so that I can actually have 2 zombies in here at the same time. Very convenient. You basically walk in, and since there's pressure plates only on that side, the zombie can follow you through. And then once he follows you through, you wait till he's just inside, and then you close this one, walk out through the door, and close this one. And then he's trapped inside. That dispenser shoots a splash potion of weakness. And then in each of the chests in the room, there's like golden apples and stuff like that. But at the moment, I don't really have any. But that's just kind of how it worked. It was very simple, easy to set up. Works really well. It's helped me a lot of times, especially this time. I hadn't had any villagers in the village for a long time, so I figured I might as well start adding them because they do seem to keep spawning. Since I guess I'm far enough away from the iron farm over there, it doesn't seem to interfere, which is a really, really nice thing. So I'm going to hopefully have a whole bunch of villagers running around, and I want to have them down in that sort of village area that I was talking about before, the one that Etho he had made something like that underground, and I think it looks really cool. I'll see if I can remember to leave a link in the description so you guys can check out what he did. It looks really nice. It's all out of clay and everything, and it's just a really cool spot to have it. Oh, and before I just kind of run down, and I finally did what I was going to say, and I connected the cave, so that if ever you're just like, you're way over and you're running off and you don't want to have to go all the way to the barn to go down to the base, you can actually just run through here. Now, I kind of kept it a natural looking cave, tried to make it just look like a random path through, but now it takes you out into here. So finally, there is a nice purpose to actually come all the way down here. It's a lot faster than going all the way to the barn, like I say, and down the stairs. And you can come into here. Kind of gives you a reason to pass through this area. Because I gotta start figuring out how I can use each area. Like, this place is really nice in here, and I'm happy with it, but I never use it. So that's why I want to have, the villagers down here, and then I can, come down here and trade with them, and I can see this area, and, like, I have my base hidden inside of the mountain, and it's been a long time since I first did that. That was quite a while ago. Pretty cool, though. And I think is that all the updates I did? I did fix one little spot on the iron farm that was just at the top. I forgot to re-add some water to where some of the villagers were standing, so they weren't getting pushed together. Hopefully that'll even make it even faster and better, but who knows? Other than that, I think that's actually about it for me in this episode. I did get most of the stuff done that I wanted to. There's obviously, little things here and there that still need to get done. I still haven't completely finished the Sky Wars. That's a whole nother little while, but now that I have like the storage room properly set up and I have all the things I need, it's a lot easier for me to get that stuff. Like, I have my silk touch now, so if I can remember not to mine and use every block of iron or whatever I find, I can place them up there, and that'd be great. So that'll be something else to do. I'll have finished up, and hopefully I'll have an episode of that for you guys one day. But I think the next episode, let me see if I can go over and show you guys. I have been collecting white wool, black wool, and I just need a little bit of red wool. Like I said, I wanted to make that I keep saying dog, Minecraft wolf, so that I can have him standing above the giant bone. It kind of just, I think it would look cool though, having the dog, right beside the bone would be pretty awesome. And it's nearly the same size, so it would match well. It wouldn't look, like a giant bone compared to the dog. So it's gonna take a lot of wool, a lot of time. So I'm gonna have to go back into my creative world and kind of mess around and like write down all the dimensions so that I can come back into the survivor world here and start building it. But so far that's the plan that I have for next time, because I want to, build something in this area, and that'd be the perfect thing. And I just want to have, another build done and out of the way, because this was just kind of the maintenance thing to show you guys an update of stuff, keep you, in the know, see what's going on, and help me get a couple things done and whatnot. So I think that I've done that well today, except for that one block there I just found again. So yeah, it's little things like that that I'm just discovering all the time. So yeah, next episode will be building the Minecraft wolf, and I think that's about it for me. So thank you guys again so much for watching. Thank you all for your patience. I hope to become more regular with the videos soon. Work for me will be finished in the next couple of weeks, so it will be definitely possible. So thanks again for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you in the next one.